Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you. Indeed, strange things do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have my own story that I want to share with you. I am a man who has lost an entire generation. Expect for my son and my two daughters. As for my son, him being alive, it is because when I die, those demons that I had a contract with, they need a bloodline to always follow, because this cannot end with me. Even though some of my assets, I was told that they will perish the day that I will die. I will leave nothing behind, but the covenant will always be there following my bloodline. I don't know for how many generations. When my story started, I was just a young entrepreneur who was a loving husband and a father of 6 kids, but I never knew how far these rituals that I did will take me. Me being an entrepreneur in my country was really challenging, because everyone in Lagos is more like a hustler and everyone had the same desire to become rich, yet the opportunities were quite limited, even though I was struggling. But as for my family and my mother and my sister and their child who were back in the village, they were not suffering because I was able to put food on the table. But the desire to succeed made me to view myself as an ultra poor man. But according to Nigerian standards, I was doing okay. Back in those days, I started with one video shop. I used to rent out DVDs and selling hi-fi systems, and I later started selling smartphones when they came into the market. That was when I started experiencing a period of low profitability. So, as to keep my business afloat, I had to lay off some of my workers, and my sister, whom I had left in the village to take care of our mother, had to come to the city so as to assist me in one of the shops, whilst my wife was in charge of the other shop. With some of these cost-cutting measures, for a little while, my business did okay, but it still had a very stressful time for me, since I was like the breadwinner in my family. And in my extended family, I was the breadwinner. I had some of my cousin brothers who were stuck in the village. So regularly, what they would do is that they would want me to assist them. And I knew that if any of my extended family members would have came to me, it would be because I was their last hope. And if I failed to help them, then it meant starvation for them. So with all of these things that were happening to me, I then ended up doing some illegal business ventures. It started very small until it became like a very big operation, like the pickpocketers that used to steal from people in town would come after they had stolen handbags that contained cell phones or whatever. They will bring whatever that they would have stolen in town back to my shop, but mostly they will bring those smartphones into my shop. Back in those days, we used to change the phone covers, and the phone would seem to be a brand new phone. Those were the days when Nokia was quite a dominant force in the market. So what would happen is that a thief would bring a stolen phone to any of my shop. Then one of my guy will change everything on the phone, and the phone will be sold as good as a used phone. Some people would even come and buy their own stolen cell phones without them ever noticing that they were buying the same phone that had been stolen from them. Occasionally, we would receive a shipment. This shipment that we would receive, it would have been from overseas through a connection that I had gotten of people that used to traffic those stolen smartphones. I had gotten this connection and my business was booming. Then unfortunately, one of my cousin brother, whom I had made to be one who handles these shipments, then got arrested. And the police was forever on my back. When he was in prison, I needed someone to help my cousin brother to get out of prison before he could rat me out. So what we did then was that my wife knew of this other priestess who mixed church and African herbs to cure her clients. So me and my wife, we rushed there to my wife's village through the night, and we had our case thrown out of court for lack of evidence. But after my cousin brother had been released from prison, there was so much infighting in the family because my cousin brother blamed me for giving him a criminal record, and he was someone who was a university graduate, even though he had not yet managed to secure any kind of employment. He was saying that I had tainted his CV because wherever now he was looking for work, he had to include that part that he had a criminal record on his CV. And he was now unable to get accepted for some government work opportunities that he had previously applied for before I had asked him to hustle for me so that he can be the one who was in charge of some of those shipments of the smartphones that would have been stolen from abroad being brought into Nigeria. Then he got arrested. As for me, I then started looking for ways that I could protect myself from all those threats. You know, in a family, when there is so much infighting, you do not know who is going to cast some spells on you. So I started going around looking for any form of protection because threats that were forever coming from some of my uncles were not good threats. I had a secret consultation with this other man who was a herbalist, but that man just swindled me all of my money. That was when I remembered that my wife had once taken me back to her village where we had the consultation with that priestess who had helped me when my cousin brother was in prison, and like magic her charms had worked on the judge because the judge had said that there was no evidence as to why my cousin brother had been held so long just in remand. So I went and I visited that priestess without the knowledge of my wife. When I arrived and after we had a secret consultation, then she told me that I had to bring my last born, who is my son, so that he can hold some of the items that we were supposed to use for the ritual ceremony. Since as for her, she could not hold those items and she was forbidden to do so by her shrine.